Hey Matt, my man, it's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing great, actually, and I'm very honored to be on your show. Thanks you very much for having me.
Beautiful. And thank you too so very much for being here. You see, I truly appreciate it. And you see, Matt, oftentimes I love to thank my guest for two things. And I do this so often to the point where it has become an anthem for me. So firstly, Matt, I want to say thank you so very much for investing in yourself. You see, you are on this platform right now because you did invest in yourself. And oftentimes, my man, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. You see, Matt, some months back, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, there was this tall, unattractive mango tree. And I use the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, Matt, just recently, I was on that same road, and this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree. The mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance, and immediately I got the urge to move so close to it, which I did, and it wowed me because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it, beautiful green leaves and healthy branches, and not just mangoes now, Matt. I'm talking about ripe mangoes. It was such a lovely moment that day. I was so excited. Here is my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing Matt that you are today, that alone has made it really impossible for me to skip you. And that's why you got the request from me to be on the show because I was attracted to the fruit of all that you're doing, the impact your work is having, your philosophies, your insight. All of those things are beautiful. And just before you got the request from me, I said to myself, I've got to benefit from these beautiful things Matt is doing. Not only me now, but even the audience. And here we are today with the amazing Matt. So thank you so very much for doing that to yourself. And secondly, thank you for saying yes to the invite. Because if you had said nope, there was nothing Elisha could do about it. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. And thank you for these nice words you just said. And as I said, I'm honored to be with you today.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you too. So let's get started, Matt. You see, I'm quite excited to have you on the show today for, let's see, two reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information. And you see, Matt, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge, and darkness means ignorance. I've been so keen to knowledge seeking because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. The second reason why I'm excited to have the amazing Matt on the show is for the sake of the audience. You see, Matt, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality, eye-opening, and very important information, of which I am totally convinced that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So for that reason, Matt, my man, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or your professional journey, because right now we are just so curious. We want to know how Matt got here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Matt, my man, over to you.
Thank you. So I'm 55 years old. I'm living and born in Switzerland. I'm living in Switzerland. My journey is like I started. I did my studies. I studied psychology at the University of Bern, and quite early I realized that my calling probably is in the military. So I became a career officer. I joined the army, and today I'm a colonel. Since 25 years now, I joined 25 years ago as a professional career officer. Before I was a reserve officer. So today have the rank of a colonel. I'm infantry. I had a very and very exciting career till now, I have to say, on the professional level. And what else do? I am I'm married. I have 3 children, 20 years old, 18 years old, and 16 years old. And I wrote 3 books about decision making. I wrote a book about more philosophy, about philosophy, stoicism, and one book I wrote about pirate, which is another interest I have, the pirates of the Golden Age. And I'm also into politics. I'm a member of the cantonal parliament, which is like this in Switzerland. The canton is in the US. It will be a state, and yeah, that's about what I do. And I have a podcast. It's called the Stoic Pirate, where I talk about leadership, about philosophy, about zeitgeist, about whatever. Yeah, like stuff that's just on my mind, and I'm kind of like you. I'm trying to, I'm trying to search wisdom, and I think we will never reach it really, but I'm searching for it, and I think that's one of our missions we have in life, to search truth, and that we can do by exchanging with conversations with other people, with discussing with other people, and being open-minded. And I think that's why I like to be also talking to you. Like, that's, for me, it's the same. As you said, I think it's going to enrich myself just to being able to talk to you.
Wow, that's a beautiful one, and I love that. And you see, the fact that you are dedicated to seeking the truth, it tells a lot about your personality as a leader, because that's one of the traits of a true leader. A true leader is always dedicated to continuously seeking the truth. And I love that about you. So you mentioned Switzerland. That's a beautiful place. Can you talk to us more about that part of the world, Switzerland? Like, what do you think the world can learn from Switzerland?
Yeah, there is actually, Switzerland is a very unique place. And there's a lot of unique things. And I think you are absolutely right. There is some stuff that that the world could learn from Switzerland. And one thing is, we have no prime minister, we have no president. We don't.
Wow.
We have 7 ministers from the 4 major parties that share the power together. And what they have to do, they always have to find consensus. They're not allowed to say, they basically go in a chamber, they talk about it, and they come out with one voice. They're not allowed to say, oh, I'm against it, or I'm for it. They decide together.
Wow.
So this is a very, very good thing, because we since the Swiss, we don't like the concentration of power. We really don't like that. We don't like having somebody who is a president or a prime minister or whatever. So we share the power. It makes everything a little bit slower, but you know what? Maybe sometimes we're a little bit behind with certain things, but we also don't rush into making stupid decisions. That's one thing that the world could learn. The second is democracy. The whole world says, well, everybody thinks they have such great democracies, but you know, in Switzerland, people go vote 4 times a year on everything we vote. The parliament is you can vote about everything. It's the people who have the last say. So the government has very limited power to decide something. And I give you an example. In Switzerland, we voted about not like if you have an idea, if you say, you know what, I would like to change something in Switzerland, all you need to do is collect 100,000 signatures, and the people are going to vote about it. And that's how real democracy works. It's not some elite who tells us what to do. It's the people who have always a say. So that's, again, it makes everything a little bit slower, but everybody is more content with this system. And the third thing I think the world could learn, Switzerland has a military. We have a good military, but the military is only for defense. We are not in NATO. We're not going to attack somebody. The only reason we have an army is to defend against the enemy. We would never go attack anybody, but we will defend if somebody comes to us. And I think if everybody would do that, if everybody would have a military just to defend themselves, we would have no war because nobody would attack. And I think these are like, there's some really
That's
nice
so
things. And I think
true.
that's the three major things: power, democracy, and only defense.
I tell you, this sounds really foreign to me. Not as though the country I'm in under democracy, but I love the word that you use. You said real democracy. Switzerland is functioning under real democracy, and that's the difference. Now, right now, I want to dust my passport and head straight down to Switzerland. Oh boy, these things I never knew. I tell you, my man, I never knew. I never knew. No wonder it's such a free and successful territory. Wow. That's amazing. So let us head towards leadership. All right. So you mentioned pirates earlier while you were talking. So what leadership lessons can we learn from pirates?
Yeah, it's a good question, and a lot of people ask me these questions because they say like, how can you, as a colonel in the military, be fascinated by pirates? So we have to think, if we go back, the golden age of the piracy was in the 17th century, end of 17th century, beginning of 18th century, and the pirates, they were not just, nowadays we see them as criminals. They're like, the image they have is like they're criminals, they're thieves, they pillage and so on. But actually, there were people, most of them were escaping society because society was so limiting, because you couldn't do anything as a poor person. You had no chances. You had no possibilities for development. You were just locked in this feudal system where the aristocrats said what's going on, and you had no choice. You had nothing to say. So these people escaped, and what they did, they wanted to create a society, a different society, a free society. And so what people don't know, and I think this is amazing. Imagine, just think, we were talking 1710 or something. The pirates had democracy. They voted for the captain, and they could also vote him down again. There was not just like a dictator who said that's how it goes. They voted about the rules. They talked together. It was a real. There was not like just command and control. It was a team that worked together, equal rights. And now, if I say equal rights, there was no other place in this time, in 17th, 18th century, where so many different people from different races, different religions, different backgrounds came together like on a pirate ship. You had people from Europe, you had Swiss, you had English, you had Dutch, you had Africans, you had Arabs, you had from all over the place. And they came together and they had this enterprise. And it didn't play a role if you were black, if you were Jewish, if you were European. They worked together. They were one team. And everybody had a vote. And even women we're talking 1700. They had women on their boats. Very famous women. They had women who were captains. So they had equal right for women back then. They invented what I think is amazing too. They invented also the insurance for accident insurance. If you got injured, you got an insurance. And I mean, we were in the US or in Switzerland, so that came like not even 100 years ago, probably, this insurance. They knew that. So they were very progressive in this way. And I think what we can learn is, as a leader, is like this participating leadership, that we are a team where everybody participates, not just one person who barks orders. It's together, we decide together, we have one goal, one objective, and everybody participates. And another thing is also this diversity, I think, is a very important thing also we can learn, that we don't look at if somebody is black, white, whatever religion he has or so. We look at what strengths this person has. What can the person give to the team? And that is what counts, and not like how somebody looks or how somebody, whatever, what he believes. It's what can he bring to the company? What can he bring to the team? And that's what's important. So there's a lot we can learn from the pirates. And it's a very fascinating topic.
Amazing. Well, I think I got that, and I'd have to listen to that part over and over again to process it all. So let's talk about boxing. All right. So how does boxing, or what does boxing teach us about resilience?
Yeah, like boxing, I think is for me. But boxing is an analogy of life. There's nothing more honest. I mean, I love other sports too. But I think boxing is more than a sport. It's like it's like life. And what's so amazing is you step into the ring. Once you step into the ring, like it takes courage to step into a ring. For everyone, it takes courage. Every time I stepped into the ring, and I was just an amateur. I was never like, but it takes courage so that's something we need in life. We need this courage to step into the ring. We cannot only be just always observing and looking. And sometimes you have to step into the ring. And once you're in the ring, you are on your own. And every move you make, every action you take, every decision you take will have consequences. And there are no excuses. You cannot say if you make a stupid move, well, you get hit in the face. And you cannot say, hey, that's unfair. Oh, that's not right. I need somebody who help me. You're alone. You're on your own. And everything you do has consequences. I think that's one thing we learn. And it's like life. In life, sometimes you throw punches, sometimes the punches hit you. And you have to come back. You cannot just sit down and cry and say, that's it. You have to come back. And you realize also you will survive. You have this power. Even if you get punched in the face once in a while, that's okay. Sometimes you punch others, so that's okay too. But we have to stay fair. And that's another thing in the boxing ring. You don't punch under the belt line. You don't punch on the back of the head. You don't punch on the back. It's like you fight fair. And that's also something I think that's very important. And I think we can learn, a lot about martial arts and boxing for real life. And because it's so honest. It's so, that's what it is. It's honest.
Mm, wow. And that's a great perspective, Matt, because I never thought about it from that angle. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. So finally, we have just one more question to go. All right. So what are the top traits of great leaders?
The most important thing is, as a leader, since you lead people, and leadership has always to do with human beings, you lead people. The most important thing is you have to love humans. You have to like your people. And as I said, maybe even go further. You have to love your people. You cannot always choose your people you work with, but you have to you're responsible for them. So you have to like them. You have to be interested. You have to love them. You have to know them. So the most important thing is knowing with who you work. And it's more than just knowing, like their CV, what they studied or something. You have to know their likes. You have to know their sorrows. You have to know what motivates them. The pain they have, maybe once you know your people, you know their strengths, you know their weaknesses, but focus on their strengths. If you know the strengths of your people you work with, you can engage them where they are strong. And if you give people a mission where they're strong, they like to do it. But we are human beings, we want to have success. So I have to create, as a leader, the circumstances that my people that I lead can be successful. And then we have success together. So that's one very important thing, is I have to be interested in my people. I have to like my people and even love my people because I'm responsible for them. That's the number one trait. And then I think you have to be a communicator. You have to be able to speak the language of the people you lead. You have to be able to explain your decisions, because that's the only way you can really convince your people, is if they understand what you want. What is your intention? And that's very important to explain to people what is my goal and why do I do that. If so, my goal was always as a leader. They should know so well what the mission is, what my objective is. So even if I wouldn't be there, they could go on and they know exactly where we're heading without me being there controlling them or supervising them constantly. And that's the third thing when I talk about controlling and supervising. As a leader, have trust. Trust in your team, in your team members. People are good. I'm so convinced, and I literally led several thousand people, and I rarely met somebody who was not a good person. People are good to begin with. Then they want to do good. So help them to be the superheroes they can be, and that's my mission. So trust your people and don't control them. Treat them not like they're adults. And I hate that if leaders start controlling and checking and correcting the whole time. No, be a coach, be more like a coach, like a mentor, and trust in the capabilities of your people. I think this is the three things, kind of like.
Beautiful. And I'm taking that as a final thought. That's really, really invaluable. Thank you for sharing that. That was a beautiful one, and I'm taking that as a final thought. So, for folks who would like to reach out to you, Matt, or ask questions and make a purchase of your beautiful books, how can that be possible?
Well, they can go on my website, www.muellermathias.ch. Mueller is written Mueller, and then Mathias, Mathias.ch. And you'll find me also as the Stoic Pirate on Instagram, on Facebook, or on YouTube. And you can write me wherever you want. And as I said, you find me also on Insta and LinkedIn as Mathias Mueller. You find me, and wherever you want, write me. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time till I answer, but I'm maybe not going to answer within a minute. But I would love to hear from you, from the people who listen to us.
Beautiful. So that's going to be the end of the show, my man. Thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing this beautiful stuff with us. It means a whole lot. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much.